It's Lancaster Day. So I thought it would be fun, since I have been waiting for, like many of you, for around 2 years for this airplane. I thought we might give it a go. And I guess one of the things that I would say about buying this aircraft is this is not the flavor of the day for me. I've been waiting for a long, long time. Okay, so one of the things that I will point out is that we are sitting at RAf Valley, and it's a piece of freeware that is available over on Flightsim.to, and is well worth the download. So lots of cool ground features added here. If you like military aircraft and military bases, this one's for you. It's very, very well done. It's one of my favorites in the sim. So I will include a link in the description below. But for now, we are going to run up our engines and take the parking brake off and have a fly here in the Lancaster. So I've got flaps set at 15 for takeoff. Parking brake coming off. And we'll run up the engines here. Once the airspeed gets to about 45, I'm going to push the nose forward. Get the tail off the ground. And back up on the stick we go. A little gentle rate of climb here. Gear coming up. Side. So one of the things you're going to see in the pilot guide, or the documentation was written by Airplane Heaven, is you want to build up some airspeed before you really start to climb out. This is a big old bird, and she needs some time to build some momentum. All right. Speaking of, there are flaps back to retracted position here. And we'll get our boost managed better. We don't blow ourselves up here. Anyway, lots of features and functions with this aircraft. We're not going to tarry with them too much today. We're just going to enjoy the fly. Built-in cameras, I guess we can roll through those. As we make our way down to the loop. Okay, so that took us back to the radio operator's station. Here's all the engine gauges we're monitoring. Our co-pilot / engineer. Shift 4 for the tanks. Shift 5 for the bombardier view. Oh, it might be cool to fly the plane here for a little while with this on. That's kind of neat. So that was shift 5. Shift 6 to the navigator. Shift 7 to the turret gunner. Tail gunner. And we'll restore our view back to the pilot. That is very cool, and the Bombardier viewpoint is quite interesting.
Did you hear my last transmission?
And I do have ATC turned on here.
Valley Tower, Speed Racer Kilo, Delta Romeo, 2212, frequency change.
Okay, so we're operating at 3,000 RPM. Boost is around 4. And we can jump outside the plane. Take a look at this big old bird in flight. She is gorgeous. Airplane Heaven has done an absolutely outstanding job on the texturing of this guy. It's a lot of fun. And it looks great. And I think she handles as you might expect out of a large bomber. So we are clearly going to be doing some historic flight shenanigans with this one. And I am doing this shakedown flight in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. This is a native 2020 aircraft. And it's quite amusing to me to watch folks over on the Airplane Heaven forum have their 2 cents worth about why isn't this 24 native? I'm happy that after about 18 months of waiting, we've got what was delivered. So full transparency here, you know, shortly before filming this video, there was a patch update release made available from Airplane Heaven. Taking care of a couple of post-launch issues that have been reported by the community, so I'm psyched. I know that quite a few of my Flight Sim group flight friends are pumped as well. So we are just going to enjoy this. Really digging the view here. So the internal modeling looks really, really good. So kudos to Airplane Heaven for this. And if you've picked it up, welcome hearing your comments about the aircraft in the comments below, or comment on the post that I put up on the post section of the YouTube channel. Had some good conversation about that. And also, Flying Doghouse has a Discord channel. I don't talk about it too much. It's new. It's got a small number of members, but would love to use that as an opportunity to interact with folks who are watching the videos and are a part of the subscriber community. And if you haven't done that, we'd welcome you being a subscriber on the channel. Make our way low level. I'm not sure that the sounds are quite as strong as I had anticipated them being. I also need to do a compare to see how it sounds over on the 2020 side, just for comparative purposes. So when we do the deep dive, we'll look at the crew configurations and some of the things you can have in place on the ground. There's a switch in the cockpit to control that. We'll do a cold and dark too. Obviously today we spawned in on the runway at Valley. We're almost down here to the airport at Lambetta. And we'll make our way into the estuary and make our run. I think one of my initial impressions of the aircraft is that it does feel heavy, which you would expect, right? And I think one of the things that we'll do on the deeper dive is we'll explore stall characteristics and some of the other stuff that we cover. And since we're doing this video in 2024, we may do the cold and dark video in 2020 just to make sure we're providing a mixed platform here on the channel. So prior to upgrading my computer platform, I was experiencing multiple crashes to desktop during an average semi. And I have had a few in the last 3 weeks since the upgrade. I had one day after I did the install. yesterday I had 3. Most of them are taking place on menu screens. So far today, so good. And there is a post over on Airplane Heaven's Facebook page that's talking about 2024 compatibility, and you might experience some stuttering and some other things in 24 in large metro environments. So far, I haven't really seen that. Although I do think for the shakedown flight we might have to make a trip down to Thames, do a flyby at Buckingham Palace and Parliament, say hello to the old bridge. That'll give us a really good indication. I think speaking the quiet part out loud, I think one of the things that I have learned in the last 4 or 5 weeks is your experience in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024, I think, is going to be directly proportional to the power of your hardware. And if you are running on older hardware, then my suggestion to you is to scale back your settings and use the NVIDIA driver recommendations as a basis for your own tweaks, and then tweak the taste. You're going to have to make some compromises, I think. But having said that, that is still not going to alleviate your issues. Some of your bottlenecking, quite frankly, is coming from the pairing of your CPU and the graphics card that you're running the machine. Okay, coming over the top of the good old cricket pitch. Alright, we will start making our turn to make our entrance here into the loop. Give our virtual photographers some camera bait here. Wave to the photography team. Okay, making our way around here into the twisty bits. Probably should check back inside. Do part of this from in here. Some parts of this turn, twisty part, we are just not going to attempt in the Lancaster. We could probably make it wash around through here, but we're going to go straight over the top. And once we make the turn to the back side of the loop, we'll jump back over into the bombardier's position here. Have a little bit of fun with that. We're almost down here to my favorite trees. So get in this position to make our turn to the back side of the loop. Over this hillside and then drop down. Hello, trees. All right, back to the back side of the loop here. Go. Get that view adjusted. Let's drop down on the deck here. We'll do some altitude practice for the Dam Buster run. Away from those pylons. Although it seems like I'm tracking right over the top of them. Yeah, this airplane is great fun. And it's quite a different experience flying the Mach Loop with at this speed level. It definitely does throw off your landmark recognition. And this is not your left-hand turn. Although I will share this with you, when I fly the Mach Loop, I refer to this large building here in front of us as the Holiday Inn Express. So there you go. That's usually what I use as a marker for high-speed jet runs down through here. There you go. Be really interested to know if you're from Wales and you know what that building actually is, I'd love to take a peek. Of course, I guess you go to Google Maps, and go to Street View. All right, we're coming up on our left-hand turn here. Yeah, we'll jump outside again. Get an idea of some of the terrain here. Okay, so we'll follow the highway around here. Thought about doing an exit a different route, but we'll play nice with the traffic inflow here. Come back down the valley. you do install the aircraft, there is a documentation folder that's nested in with the package. So I wholeheartedly suggest you tear that out and have a look. And as we have seen a lot of vendors do, it's really in a brochure kind of style. Yeah, we're still running at about 3,000 RPMs. Every time I start playing around with camera angles like this, I'm reminded of flying a radio-controlled device. It does play mind games with you. Definitely something to get used to. All right, we'll make our turn early here as well. And the estuary that we used for our path to the entrance is coming up at our 1 o'clock. We'll make our way over to Valley. It's great fun having this thing. So I'm sure we can probably anticipate a couple more updates forthcoming from Airplane Heaven. And I am a fan of their stuff. It is quite good. Okay, back outside. We're just going to take in some scenery here on the way home, and then I'll share some final thoughts about the aircraft. 209 now. Got the old girl kicking. Accurate. I'm going to guess probably not. Again, if you're from this part of Wales, welcome to the continent. Just how accurate that scenery rendering was. Buster height. A little high. Prop speed on new controller. Alright. Probably about 6 or 7 minutes out now from Valley. And back outside we go. One of the things I have noticed during the flight with not having SPAD necks turned on excuse me, is that the trim is all jacked up. We'll get that squared up here. Okay, we do have our airspeed lowered. Come back on the RPM here. The owner's manual is suggesting setting the trim for approach slightly down, so we'll try -3 on trim. Full. Fixtures set. And we'll make our way in here. Gear coming down. It's a big tail dragger, so it's going to behave accordingly. We'll take the throttles back to idle here as we get over the threshold. Flaps 2 as recommended. Increase power a little bit. Some of that airspeed drop. Okay, we are at threshold. Throttle's coming to neutral. Force the tail wheel down by adding back pressure on the stick. And we are safely down. Back home here at RAf Valley. Flaps coming up. Okay, so here we are. Thoughts? Would I buy it again? Absolutely. It is definitely Simworthy. It's a lot of fun. So we'll do a deep dive. We'll take a harder look at the aircraft, but surface check here. I think if you have been looking forward to having a Lancaster in the sim, I think you're going to enjoy. But again, final judgment will come from the deep dive. But my initial take on the aircraft is definitely a Simworthy edition. My only thing is I do wish that the actual sounds of the Merlins is a little stronger than it seems to be in 2024. But we'll take a look at it in 2020 as well and see if there are any differences. When we record the deep dive look, we will report back on what we find from that. Again, as Airplane Heaven has stated, this is a 2020 native aircraft that is compatible with 2020. So we'll be keeping that in mind. Alright, with that, I think we are going to leave it here. I hope everybody is keeping well. If you haven't already done so, please like and subscribe. Love to have you as a channel member. Join us on Discord. There is a link on the YouTube page for those purposes. And if you're interested in group flights, visit the Virtual Flight Online Discord server. And if you're into airliners, the virtual airline is awesome. Check that out as well. Alright, I'm going to park over here between these little and not so little friends. Again, this airport is available for free on Flightsim.to. This is RAf Valley. Alright, until next time. Cheers, y'all.